Hey friends, Randy Flickinger here, again with another story I wanted to share. I just attended one of my uncle's funerals today. His name was Marv, and we all dearly loved Uncle Marv. He was crazy. I mean, he was the youngest in the family. He was the baby of the family. My dad was the oldest, and he was the youngest, and there was three more in between. And he's just nuts. He was so much fun. I mean, everybody loved him. And the funny thing, I got to tell you a story about him so you kind of understand. And there's a message that I want to get behind it. He and his wife Rita influenced my life greatly. We spent a lot of time with them boating, going to ball games. As you know, I played college basketball and so forth, so on. He loved athletics. They never got to compete in any of that. And so he followed and came to my ball games, and he did all kinds of stuff with his grandson and his daughter, and he was just involved. He was very involved and loved that kind of stuff. And they influenced my life because of the way they handled things and they treated people, and it was really cool. What story I want to tell you? We went to a ball game one night at Allen Fieldhouse in Lawrence, Kansas, the KU Jayhawks. And he was a big KU Jayhawk fan in basketball and would take us and we would go. Well, I don't even remember who KU was playing. And whoever it was, this is way back in the 70s, they blew whoever it was completely out. But the funny part is we had tickets up in the corner, like not real close to the court, but at KU ball games, the seats are all full. Well, KU was up by 20 at the half. They're up by 30 midway in the second half, and people are leaving all over the place because the game's essentially over. Well, the funny part is before the game started, all these people sitting around, so you don't really know any of these people, right? My Uncle Marv starts in talking to him, and before long he says, hey, everybody, let's have a pool. Pick a number between 0 and 9. Each of us get one number. You put $1 in. At the end of the game, we'll add the scores up. And whatever the last digit is, that person wins the $10. It's for $1. It was just fun. But the crazy part, and what I want to get at, is the fact that in the time he's at this ball game, sitting there before it starts, he doesn't know any of these people, and yet he's approachable. He talks to people, and he was fun. He was fun to be around. And so this game's a blowout, and there's 15 or so of us, because not all of us, we're kids and whatever, 15 or so of us idiots in the stands while everybody else is basically left going nuts and screaming wildly anytime somebody made a basket because they were hoping that the score would total out to where their number come up and they could win the $10. Now, again, that's 50 years ago. But it tells you a little bit about his personality. He was willing to talk to people. He was real. He was approachable. He was friendly. He was fun to be around. And you know what it did? Just like those people around him, it gave him the opportunity to talk to them, to influence them, to learn about them, and very, very possibly and likely, knowing his life, a chance to influence them for God, a chance to share his gospel. Now you're going to say, oh no, he had them gambling, and I understand that. This is 50 years ago, but the point I'm making is that same personality is what he used to talk to people everywhere he went. He'd be in line at a hot dog stand and take up a conversation. Before long, he was friends with them. I remember going to a tournament one time. We were sitting about 5 rows back of the bench of the Oklahoma Sooners, and he was talking to this couple, seemed like nice people, and before long we found out it was their star player's parents. He talked to people, and it opened doors to communicate and share his faith, his beliefs, his wants, his help, and his interest in their life. You and I can learn from my Uncle Marv. We need to do a better job of being approachable, of being fun to be around. I'm not saying we have to do bad stuff, but we can just talk to people. It's amazing when we talk to people what happens. Just, hey, how are you doing? I like your outfit. Your child is wonderful. She is so cute and so well behaved. There's so many things you and I can say that opens the door for conversation. And you never know what God's going to do with that conversation to share our faith about Him. But it doesn't happen if we don't open our mouth and make ourselves approachable. Uncle Marv, thank you for the influence that you were in my life. I know you're in heaven. You're with my mom and dad right now, and y'all are having a great time. But on earth here, we miss you. But thank you for that influence that you were. Thanks for listening, guys. Share this, save it to your favorites, and let's make a difference out there.